Hello again, Half Full Monty here, and a little video about doing your business in your casita. Uh, for all you newbies or what people that care or don't care, here we go. So, what we do, as previously stated about the fresh water tank, uh, I also clean the black and the gray tank. The gray being your water from your sink and your shower, and the black tank is the tank that has your septic stuff in it, your poo and your pee pee poo poo tank, the dreaded black tank. So we have had issues with a little odor issues in the old casita, but there's some things that we've done to help out. And starting on the inside here, flushing. No, we won't do that yet, but I'll get back to that. So when you go, you come, you do your business, and you always want to make sure, as an old farm boy or somebody from the country all know, is that in the outhouse, you always leave the lid down when you're not using it. You'd be surprised how much of a odor seal that is, okay? But anyway, you do your business and you close the lid, you flush your stuff down, and you fill your tank back up. And the other one of the tricks everybody says, what you do is you make sure there's lots of water. Use lots of water when you're flushing your toilet. Okay, water is your friend in black tanks. So you flush it, you fill it up. Okay, with it, after you've done that, the valve's closed because you have your little flush valve right there, and the lid's down. Then what you do is you come up here to your handy dandy toilet restroom vent, open your vent, turn your vent on. You know, this is the time, if you use air freshener, you might give it a couple of shots of air freshener in here, and that will suck your odors out. Okay, what you do not do is have this going while you're doing your business down here, because when you flush it, it will suck that odor up into your restroom. And then if you have your air conditioning going, it will circulate it throughout your whole little trailer here, your 82 square feet, and then you won't be so happy. So you do that, close your vent. Also, the vent's good for when you shower here, because this is a wet bath. It'll be wet in here, especially down here in Texas. You open that thing up and turn it on, and it will it'll dry it out in here, you know. Also, some people, you know, when they do their business, they flush their toilet paper down, and there's all kinds of discussions about what kind of toilet paper you use and what have you. We don't really do that. We do it because, once again, going to other countries and being from the country on a septic system, we don't really flush our toilet paper. We have this magic deal here. We just put our toilet paper that we've used in the Ziploc. We keep it in that thing, and then we usually, about, you know, once a day, we dump that with our trash. Okay. We also, in this little thing here, which lots of casitas have problems with it having moisture and wet in here. What I did was I came in here and put a little gutter thing around here. Sticks on. Some people use these around the top of their windows to keep the water from running on their windows. And there's all kinds of products that people use. We've used them all. This is a pretty good product. It's a liquid, and I also use another concoction of it's pine sol and Calgon bath bead mixture, and that helps a lot. This digester stuff is supposed to break down your solids in there, and there's some debate about that too. I mean, it's a holding tank, it's not a septic system, so there's a debate about whether you know, if it's good to have your waste broke down or not, but we kind of use them both. And anyway, so we've done that. We've done our camp out. We come back, and we've drained it. When I am hooked up to the dump station or at the campsite or at your house, if you have a sewer drain clean out port, you can use that. Hook the hose up. You drain your black first, but what I always do is before I drain that black, I drain a little of the gray water. That way I can check my connections on my sewer hoses and how it's going into the tank that I'm dumping in to make sure that it's sound and we're not going to have any leakage or spills. If that's good, I close the gray and then I open the black, dump it out, and then I come in here and I fill the toilet bowl up, and you know, dump it, fill it up, dump it. But that's what I do, like on campsites. After a camp out, you get back, what I do is I will show you. I have one of these and some people do this at dump stations and stuff, and I just don't feel comfortable holding up the line at the dump station, filling that stuff up. So I have this little device right here. You hook it to a hose. It's got a little thing that spins around on the end. What you do is you dump your tank out, and then you use that and you fill your tank up, and it's, you know, it scrubs it in there pretty good, and then you dump it, and you do that. I do that, excuse me, until it comes out and it's clean out where you're dumping. Okay, and so that's what I do. And then you always you want to put, I usually try to put, like, you fill your toilet up about 3 times, and that's what I travel around in. You don't want to have it ever be dry in there, but put about 3 flushes in there. You put whatever chemicals you put in there, and then when you're driving around, it sloshes around. And anyway, that's how I do that. And then on the gray tank, I do something similar when I come back, is that I get seeing how you can't run a scrubber down your gray tank, I fill up my gray tank. And in ours, when it's full, it starts backing up in the shower and in the sink a little bit. And so when it does that, I know it's full. I come out here and dump it, and then I will do the same thing, and I will put some Dawn in there. But usually your gray tank, is basically soap. I mean, unless you're really into some heavy conditioners and stuff like that in your showers on a camp out, you shouldn't have a big buildup of stuff like that. Now, you will get some, I've got little screens in my drains in my shower and my sinks to try to catch anything micro trash that goes down in there. And you can get those at Amazon or camping stores or whatever. Uh, and uh, because you can get odors build up in your gray tank. Okay, so I also, if you just have water setting, untreated water, it'll eventually get bad on you. So anyway, that's what I do out here. Also, this little thing right here is a wonderful. It's got a handle you can remove easier. I was having an issue with taking it off at one time. I also, in my black tank and my gray tank, this is just something I do that it might be awful, but I put a little vegetable oil in my toilet and then run it down my sink, and supposedly that's going to help me on my gaskets, on my valves, uh, keep them from sticking. And I also make sure I use those valves occasionally, work them to make sure that they don't stick on me, because I feel like the way they're set up, if those things get stuck and you yank on them, they're not, it could break and you'd have something that might ruin your whole camp out right there. Also, dealing with the odors, I've got this thing right here over on the black tank vent that is kind of like a weather vane thing that helps let it vent better. And that's, believe it or not, that thing seems to work. So I also, you can get that on Amazon. So I try to keep the black and gray serviced clean with the clean water and stuff in it while it's setting. And can't think of much more about that, but you just gotta you gotta kind of baby it a little bit, because it's a pretty small system. When you wash your dishes and what have you, uh, you get food particles in there. And like I said, you can't get a hose deal down there and scrub it out. I mean, you can fill it up and drain it and fill it up and drain it. There's probably a way to, and I've seen this, where you can hook like a water hose, like right here, and open your valve here and back flush it. But it's still in your tank. And the way Casita plumbs their system is kind of crazy. Uh, you know, uh, especially your gray, it kind of has to go uphill at places. Uh, and we had a problem under the sink in the kitchen area there, that the P trap, it would get air pockets in it, and the only way it would fill up, the sink would fill up then, because it's sitting on an air pocket, you'd have to go out there and burp it basically by pulling the gray valve. And if you're somewhere where you don't have hookups, and they don't allow any gray water on the ground, you're kind of, it's, I've got down there and did CPR to it, and all kinds of things. But what we did was we replaced the P trap with a I'm trying to think what they call that. It's a HIPAA valve. Anyway, it's the same thing that you have underneath your shower in the newer model Casitas. And it takes away, it also gives you a lot more space there. And it's got a little bladder in there that lets the water go one way but not the other way. And that seems to help too. So, anyway, I also put some of that uh, uh, product that I mix up with the Calgon and the Pine Sol. I also add a little of that to my gray, you know, after I drain it out and everything, and just to keep everything smelling fresh. And some people, the smell, my wife, this, thank goodness, has no sense of smell, but I've got it all. We've got this little thing right here. It's a little air purifier, and it's got a filter in it, and it's got all the. You can get those on Amazon too. They're not very expensive, but it seems to help. And then, of course, you need to ever so often, just to make sure your windows work, or not getting, the rubbers on your windows aren't getting hard. You need to open up your windows and just air it out every now and then. And that also gives you an opportunity to treat your window seals and make sure your windows are locking and stuff. Casitas have a and I'm sure a lot of other ones have the same thing. This is your locking mechanism. It kind of has a little slot over here that the thing fits in, and that's what locks your windows. And you have to be very careful about that, because you'll think you'll have it in, and then you'll drive from one place to another and come to find out that your window is open like yay, and if it's raining and stuff, you'll be wet here. And the back window, which is much bigger, is even more of a concern about doing that, opening it up. So people have all kinds, you can check online on YouTube and stuff, all kinds of little things that they clip on the windows to keep them from sliding around. Ours have been pretty good. We've had that happen a couple of times with this window and the back window coming open as you're driving. So anyway, there you go. There you have it. Half full Monty and Perlita and everything you needed to know about how we do our black and gray tanks. So, half full Monty out.